Alright, I'll try to keep this short and sweet. Here is a Midi controller that I made from an Arduino Micro Pro microcontroller. I took it and used parts of an old Guitar Hero controller, and this is the final product. Here's a basic description. These are two 10K potentiometers here with some old amp knobs put on there. This is an old distortion pedal. I just use these knobs. I just took it off and used them for my buttons that I programmed into here. This is the old button layout, or the old button from the fretboard here. Took and kind of took it apart and reprogrammed it, and kind of customized it to what I needed. This is a old bridge from an acoustic guitar I had. So this is all, for me, cost about $5. And that whole $5 of that was basically just in the microcontroller itself. I'm going to give you a basic demonstration on how this is working right now, how it's mapped, and further go into detail. These buttons here are mapped inside of my music software right now. I'm working with Ableton Live, but this will communicate with Pro Tools or Fruity Loops or anything like that. So right now, connected to like I said, a grand piano. Buttons work up there. These are stop and play buttons if you want, or this is a stop button. This is just random piano notes right now. This is an old lanyard that I have to make kind of look like a guitar strap here. You could even carry it if you want to. Hooked up to this is a pick. On both sides is coated with metal. On the back of it is connected to a ground wire, which is running through the lanyard and to the casing into the microcontroller. And that will be what makes your connection and sends the notes and information from your strings to the controller to the software. I will open it up and kind of show you how I have the strings ran through, how I have the buttons going, how I have the potentiometer set up, and give a kind of a further demonstration of how you would use it to make a song, and how I've used it to kind of help the creative process of me making songs as well. Alright, this next part is kind of the technical part. I'm trying not to bore you too much. If you really don't care for the inner workings of MIDI controllers and want to make anything like this, then I would just skip ahead and kind of see how it all works playing with music and using the controller. Alright, I'm going to start off and say that this is the brains of the operation. This is the Arduino Micro Pro. These come in all different kind of shape sizes, variations, and can do operations of fully autonomous hydroponic systems to 3D printers to working with servo motors to do robotics and all. Really it's an endless list. I first used the case. This is from the Guitar Hero controller. Drilled some holes in the side just kind of show the light emitting from it. These LEDs were just, I found, kind of scrapped from they were connected to a battery pack, cut them out, and programmed them to go through the microcontroller and have the microcontroller do a fading sketch to kind of give it that glowing effect. I used a piece of like real thin 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch MDF kind of board, stenciled it from the back of the case, and jigsawed it, sanded it down, and kind of routed it out to give it the fine touches. That kind of gave me the case and let me mount my button configuration in there. This is the buttons from the Guitar Hero controller. Trimming it to a Cat 6 jack here. Connected to this RJ45, the wires continue the continuity, and bring it into the microcontroller. Kind of the same thing here for the strings on the front that I use. The strings go connect to the back of here, connect to the wires here, going out to this. This is just a kind of a quick connect, so I can just connect it whenever I need to. Continues on to the microcontroller, and then out. There's a ground wire that is fed through, goes through the lanyard, and that's kind of what makes your connection and sends the communication and relays the information. These are the knobs on the front, which are just two 10K potentiometers, also wired into the microcontroller on the analog ports. These are the 4 buttons on the front here. You can see that very well. Right there, wired in through there. And yeah, kind of ignore all the nasty hot glue, but it's keeps it in place and doesn't conduct electricity. This is a micro USB, typical for phones. Just hot glued in and out, and that's your USB connection for it. And this is a very vague, brushed over description of how this works, how this, what I'm using, and how it all kind of talks and communicates. Very vague. If anybody cares for more of a full tutorial and schematic and anything like that, write me, direct message me. I'm more than willing to, post a more full detailed video on how to make it, go through with it, and show you how to utilize as much as you can, as cheap as you can. This is a $5 MIDI controller for me. If you're interested in working with programs and playing music, and if you're trying to keep it cheap, then definitely a way to go.